Hi y'all, Mike Peace of Mike Peace Woodturning. I want to talk to you today about how you display bowls and platters for the best effect on a shelf or a table, whether it's for sale or at somebody's on somebody's bookshelf, for example. There's several different types around. I want to show you some commercial ones, and I want to show you some that I've made. Depends on what you want to do. Now, here's an example of a commercial one. It's plastic, flimsy, and it broke. I keep this handy though as a template for one that I made that's very similar to that I used a scroll saw out of some sub-quarter inch plywood, and basically it's two mirror images with a slot cut on the top and a slot cut on the bottom, and then it just simply fits together. It's not hinged, and that works fairly well. Here's an example of that same commercial model, probably made in India, but that's one way to do it. Of course, you want to sand them up, probably stain them, or perhaps even dye them. But here's a smaller one for a smaller project like this, a larger plate. Let me show you some examples. I like to do a lot of winged bowls, and they use a little different technique, and I'm going to show you a close-up on those. So let me show you a couple of different possibilities on these smaller winged bowls, such as this one. It's simply a wooden block, and I used a pretty rough-looking block, a natural shape, and it's got a slot in it to accommodate the bowl. And here's a larger one. It's got kind of a natural edge, which gives it kind of a funky look. And just put it at a slight angle so it'll lean backwards a little bit. This is pretty heavy looking, so I like to make a lighter one. And I do that with this stick. And I got this idea from Stuart Batty on some of his tall winged bowls. Basically, the stick is maybe 6 to 8 inches long out of maybe 3/4 inch. Any wood that looks nice, and exotic is nice, but it could be walnut, could be maple, light or dark, depending on whether you want it contrasting with your piece. And it's got a slot cut in it at an angle, and the front is cut generally at that same angle. Here's a smaller one. The front is cut at an angle, the slot's cut at an angle, and you make the slot appropriate with the size of your bowl, and then it tapers down in the back, and you have that cut at an angle because it allows it to be kind of hid behind. It doesn't stick out or anywhere it shows, and you can put it at the side of the bowl to hold it, and it makes no difference. It allows you to change the orientation of the particular piece. And you want to find that center balance where this doesn't twist on you. Now let me show you, going back to this model, I forgot to tell you where I got this idea. I got this idea from the South Auckland Woodturners Guild in New Zealand, and there'll be a link to their website where they've got patterns for this project and some other simple wood turning. Here's another pattern, another model that they had on that South Auckland site. Basically, it's two large dowels. I didn't get these holes directly opposite each other, so it's hard to adjust, but theoretically this should slide in and out, and then this pin in the back will allow you to support the bowl, and it'll accommodate different sizes, and it just rests on the front of that dowel, and by sliding this back you can change the orientation just a little bit. So these work for these kind of bowls. They work for platters. Round bowls could be held in a stand similar to this if it's large enough for a regular bowl. But the wing bowls just have a better appearance. Now, another way to display some wing bowls, I'll show you a picture because I don't have one as an example, but if it's a long wing that's heavy enough where it just tilts and sits like this, that's a nice display method. And here's one more design I want to show you. I got this idea from Bill Nedow, who passed away several years ago, a turner from Ontario, Canada. And it's basically 3 dowels. They're set at, I believe, about a 70-degree angle with a ball on each end, and then spray painted or dyed in a fashion. And very simple, and it works. It can work well, depending on what kind of appearance you like. So, thanks for watching. As usual, if you got any comments, post them below. If you got any suggestions for a video, leave them below. And here's a quick view of my production staff working in the background.